This video is going to talk about the intensity of what it's like to be around someone that has OCD or a mental disorder, how it affects the people around you because of what is going on inside of self that is coming across to the other person and often misinterpreted, or maybe not. So I have found that I actually work best when I'm making my videos while walking. It creates a certain flow for me and ease of expression. And when I make a video where I'm sitting in a room and staring at the camera, I get a little intense. And I've been told this and I've observed it myself. So why is it that we get so intense when we're talking about certain specific things? For example, when things get kind of real, or when we're talking about something that's an emotional point for us or something very important. What I've seen is, well, first you have to look at where else have you done that. And the other place where we do that is during sessions where we're acting out the compulsion. And so we have to look at what's going on there that is similar to what's going on when we become intensely focused elsewhere. So what are the similarities between that moment and the moments that we live in our daily lives with others where we're going into that similar intensity? And what I've seen, the first point that stuck out for me as the major dimension of this is the aspect of control. So if you look at your interactions throughout the day and with people, you'll notice that you'll kind of imagine how things are going to go already before you talk to the person, what you want to say, what you want them to say, all the possible reactions you might have. And then it's like when you actually go into the interaction in real life, you have so many rules and guidelines that you have to abide by so that you don't step on a landmine, so to speak. Meaning we are incredibly sensitive, those of us with many types of mental disorder. And to interact with the world becomes scary and dangerous because of these, what I call landmines, which are emotional reactions, which are triggers. And the emotion is felt deeply and very painful and you can say, bring you to your knees, so to speak. So what happens is, let's say we have something we want to say to somebody, we have a conversation, we need to have a talk. You know, this is serious now. And we'll have created expectations and imaginations about how that talk should go, where we express ourselves completely, we don't get triggered, the person understands us and agrees with us. You know, we'll imagine the perfect play out. So when it comes time to actually have the talk, what happens is we have all this information and reality is not playing by our rules. Reality is playing out as reality plays out, unpredictably, with many different people and influences and things going on that we couldn't have possibly predicted or imagined. So it's kind of like trying to keep on a very narrow path in a situation where that's actually impossible. Like when I'm making a video, for example, I'm dealing with an incredible amount of information that I'm processing and trying to explain simply. I'm seeing multiple dimensions of a point, and I'm trying to explain it in a way and a timeline that makes sense, trying to simplify it. So there's a lot of processing going on. When we are participating in our compulsions, we're processing the reality that we didn't process at the time. So it's like you live out your day and you'll have all these little trigger moments, little reactions, missed opportunities, you know, where you wanted to say something, but due to an emotional reaction, you held it in, suppression. So we have a lot of little suppressions and little reactions and emotional outbursts throughout the day, but we continue on our day wearing a mask, pretending everything's okay, seeming incredibly stable most of the time. And then we'll go, you know, this will accumulate pressure and build up to an urge, and we'll go and have to release the urge through acting out the compulsion. What is going on in your mind while you are acting out the compulsion? That's what I want you to look at. So I've looked at that for me, and it's where I play out the day and the suppressions and everything I would have, should have, could have done, and kind of correct it. Or feed into it. Like, if you had a conversation with somebody and you felt that you weren't heard, you'll replay that conversation over and over in such a way where you were heard and the person learned their lesson, and just this imagination stuff that we tend to do. And the thing is that when we work things out in our minds like that, especially if we're isolating ourselves in a room and acting out our compulsions, it's not effective at all. In fact, it serves to worsen everything, because you're not correcting anything in reality. You're only correcting it in your own mind, and everybody in your world has no idea what was done or not done that upset you or pleased you or didn't please you or whatever. It's like you're really living in an isolated world all by yourself with characters that represent these actual real people that exist in reality, but you're not actually communicating with them or letting them know what's going on with you. You're only fixing it in your mind, and that's never going to align with reality. It's always going to be friction. So my correction for this has been things such as, for example, in this video, I am walking. I mean, I know that might be annoying for some people because there's a lot of noise and movement and wiggling of the camera and whatnot, but for me this works right now until I practice my ease of expression more and more to the point where I can do it while I'm sitting down and staring at the camera and still flowing. I'm going to do it like this. It's strengthening myself, developing a skill. When it came time to have things like a serious talk with a partner or a friend or whatever, you just have to get something off your chest, I also used walking. So I would say, listen, I need to talk to you about something. You want to come for a little walk with me? And it's like just that act of physical movement created more flow inside of me. So I was able to express myself, find my words, and not develop this super intense laser focus. In the midst of a compulsion, when I'm acting it out and I see that laser focus starting to form, what I'll do is breathe and drop everything. You have to be able to recognize what you're doing, and that's why I'm making these videos, because they are exposing things that we're doing that we don't even know that we're doing, we're not aware of. Once you become aware of it, you can do something about it. So during an actual compulsion, I will recognize what I'm doing, stop the thoughts, and do what I'm doing in absolute awareness. Not cover it up with anything or try to solve things in my mind. I will be very real with myself, with what it is that I'm participating in and how, it's probably not the best thing to be doing at that time. And what that does is it helps you cut what you're doing short. So it cuts the session shorter, because the consequences that you're creating become undeniable. When you're lost in thoughts and imagination, you can be there for a long, long time and not even notice the passing of time. But when you do it in awareness and you bring your focus to the present reality moment, the physical reality that you're in, then what starts to accumulate is, oh shit, what am I doing to myself? What opportunities in my life am I missing out on right now because I've removed myself? And that pressure, which is real consequences, which is real pressure, not made up imagination pressure, that really helps to cut the session short, because there's no denying what you're doing. All right, I'm going to leave the video out here for now, and maybe open up some more dimensions of this point. But for now, awareness has been brought to these points, and if you have anything that you can relate to, just leave a comment and we can talk about it and open it up further. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.